Paul, on books, one of the things that we were wrestling with was getting moments of clarity and getting moments of cacophony. How did we get clarity so that those things weren't fighting each other?
Masking is like a mixing issue that comes up where you have multiple sounds occupying the same frequency space. And so we need to carve out frequency space so that you can hear all of these different elements. If not, you get like a wall of sound, which can be cool sometimes, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we have detail. So what I did is here is I soloed all of the guitars and the vocal, because they're occupying similar spaces, right? You have like the fundamental pitch of your voice and your diction and your S's and your T's, right? All that stuff. And then you have the guitars, which are just, a lot of it's white noise, right? So it's an electric guitar. So if you listen here, we have this just really dense, but each element is kind of occupying its own range of frequencies so that like basically each group of sounds has its own EQ curve, which is basically separating it away from the other elements. So some have a little bit EQ, some have some compression on them. Again, it's all to create a texture, so you have this wide texture. So we use the panoramic space to spread out the sounds, but then at the same time, we have to have everything kind of focused in the center, right? Your vocals in the center. So we do all that. There's this nice moment where we have the kind of break, and then when everything comes back in here, the vocal's even distorted. You can hear there's that extra grit, right? Yeah. And that's automating up the vocals here to add a little bit of distortion on the main vocal. But then when the harmonies come in, again, you want to be able to hear each note. You want to be able to hear each pitch, because if you don't, again, it just ends up sounding like a wall of sound. So. Who do you have when you're left with yourself? Who do you have when the lights go out and your thoughts get loud? Who do you have? All the automation, right? You're sitting there, you're riding the fader the entire time. That's the last thing we do, right? The last thing you do is you get in there with the vocal and you ride it on top of the track and make sure that I can hear every single syllable I want to hear on that vocal.
And I remember there were times on different songs where I'd come in and say, oh, I need to hear that, ooh, 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 a little clearer, because that's a part that has some sort of emotional resonance with me.
Well, that's also the part that people are going to like remember, right? That's a little like, though they remember, and that's they sing along. They like look forward to that part in the song.
And it's also kind of a delicate vocal part in the midst of a really raucous section, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I unsolo everything here and you listen to what's going on, all the crash cymbals, right, too. Like, the drums are automated, too, if I remember correctly, I'm bringing out the snares bus here to get it a little bit louder. OB6, which is very rich in the mid-range as well. So, like, a lot of just really dense stuff happening.
So, something I've noticed about myself is, as a guitar player, that's just where I hear music. I hear in the guitar range, and I have to be careful about when I'm orchestrating something. I have to be careful to include all the frequency ranges that aren't just the guitar frequency range.
I guess that's my job to sort it. I'll sort it out, right? Like, I guess, but yeah, I mean, that you write what you write, and a lot of times you don't think about it. You're like, oh, this sounds great on my guitar in this range, or I like playing it this way. Playing piano, you start to gravitate towards certain keys because they feel good, because your hands feel good in those positions. Any guitar player will tell you that certain chords feel good in their hands because of the size of their hands, the way shape or whatever. So you start to write things in that area because it feels good. Well, it might not work in the mix when you have a ton of instruments, occupying that space. Section. Yeah.
Right. So we just spent some time to carve out those EQs and make sure that there's space for all that stuff.
Yeah.
Who do you have when the lights go out and your thoughts get loud?